Well, good afternoon everyone, and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now I thought today we'd just have a look at a few Phragmipediums, the ones that I have that are flowering, and we'll go through the makeup. By that I mean what the hybrids are bred from. So we'll have a look at the first one, this one, which is an Andean Fire, just coming into flower. It's got 4 big growths and another 2 small growths there. So that's virtually a 6-growth plant, and it's just come into flower for the first time this year. It's just got the 1 flower on at the moment. If we can find it, there it is. There's just that one. With another few more buds at the back there. Well, Andean Fire is a cross between 2 species, Lindleyanum and Bessi. So that makes it a primary hybrid, which was first registered around, I think, the early 1990s. Now Bessi comes from the wet mountain ranges of the Andes, and it also can be found in Ecuador and Colombia. The Bessi of this plant can produce very big rhizomes, so it can become totally unmanageable if left to grow without considering its size. Now I've seen this Bessi plant from one of our members who is a very good grower of Phragmipediums, and I've seen he used to have a Bessi that was encaged in wire netting, so it kept growing upwards and upwards as it does in the wild on the rocks, and it must have been getting up for 5 feet tall, with numerous flowers on it, but kept very, very wet at the base. Now the Lindleyanum part of this is, it comes from the north of South America, and like most frags, they bloom from autumn or fall, as you say in the US, to spring. These are also found in wet areas near waterfalls or rivers and things like that, grown in intermediate conditions, bright light but no indirect light. And these plants, like Bessi, like to be wet, so they do combine well as a hybrid to make such a beautiful plant. You should go easy on the on fertiliser on these, because the Lindleyanum aren't very heavy feeders. What else can I say? We're keeping them wet. You should always keep the medium wet, so that means regular repotting, which on the frags I do twice per year. Well, that's all I can say about this one. Only it can have numerous blooms open at the same time. I've had one, sometimes the spike sort of branches, and I've had one 3 or 4 years ago with 6, 7 flowers on at once. Well, the next plant we're going to have a look at is this RJQ, this Robert Young Queenie. This is a cross between, there's a flower, beautiful. This is a cross between Cavacii and Bessi, and also cross back to Bessi as well. So in fact I have a Frictionbug here, which is the first cross, and as I say, if you cross it back to Bessi, the Frictionbug, you get this Robert Young Queenie. Now this is a lot of Bessi in this, so I was expecting the spike to branch out, and it certainly is doing. There you can see. got one bud, another bud there, some more buds on the back. Now I don't need to go into the care of the Bessi, just seen it on the plant before. But Cavacii is from the Andean forests as usual in Peru, terrestrial orchid, and it's a very, very endangered species due to over-collection. These have large flowers which are, well, they differ from sort of a dark pink to purple. They like to grow in a very calcareous soil, but probably a neutral pH of 7 would be advisable for everybody. Anywhere between, I should say 5.8 and 7.6 is fine for these. They like a low temperature of around 15 degrees and a high of around 26, 27, 28, something like that. Now, it's not known what is the pollinator of Cavacii. Unlike other Phragmipediums, which we all know the pollinators of those, and it's because of such a large pouch on the flower of the Cavacii. Now, Cavacii, when small, are very sensitive to salts. So when raising seedlings, I would prefer to use seaweed extract. Mature plants can tolerate more light, such as morning sun, no afternoon sun, and they can tolerate more light than the young plants. Right, fortunately I have a cross between Cavacii and Bessi, which is Frictionbug, which is growing very strangely at the moment, so I'll show you. Now this Frictionbug, which is a cross between Bessi and Cavacii, had 3 beautiful growths on this side last year, and as you can see the leaves have all dropped down. They're still firm and unmarked, but I don't know why it's gone like that, because I expected to have 1 or 2 blooms on this year. And now it's grown again this year. Look, another 3, exactly as last year. So I hope these don't all go floppy like the other ones. As you can see, there's the middles of them. All seem to be growing very nicely up to now. So we'll just see how that goes. Now that's a single Cavacii across Bessi, and also I've got an actual Cavacii species. Well, these are 2 of my Cavacii, and very pleased to say that the one that's in spike is doing very well. It hasn't shown us a bud yet, but I can just see one inside if you look closely. That should come out into a nice big fat bulb that's covered in hair. So I can't say much about these, I've already said. So we'll finish on this saying thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you to my subscribers, and until I see you next time, bye, and thanks again for watching.